Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another news update, this time involving Ronda Rousey. Now, according to a tweet which will hopefully flash up right now, Rousey is featured on the ticket for SummerSlam 2018. Now, this isn't too big a surprise in terms of Rousey will obviously appear at the big four pay-per-views because she's such a massive star, but it is interesting to note that they've already planned this far ahead in terms of her appearance. This sort of means that not only will she be a major star attraction, it also looks as though she'll be a key roster member as well. Again, as I've mentioned in previous videos about Rousey, we're not certain whether this will be her featuring full-time in a Brock Lesnar sense or full-time in a everyone else sense. You know, like whether she'll be working regularly on Raw or SmackDown, I'm guessing Raw if she was to, or whether she'll just be coming in occasionally to kind of ruin everything, beat up everyone, and then go away for a little bit before coming back for a big pay-per-view such as SummerSlam. It'll be interesting to see what happens. No further news, unfortunately, yet on what will happen at WrestleMania involving Rousey, although again, the key rumor there appears to be Rousey and Stephanie McMahon going at it in some fashion, potentially a mixed tag match also involving Stephanie's husband, Triple H, and a male partner for Rousey, which we've been led to believe is potentially, if WWE get their own way, who's got a very busy schedule, that you know who I'm going to talk about, The Rock. So again, Rousey seems to be very much, as she said, part of WWE's long-term plans, not just a star attraction. She's been training to be a wrestler. She really is taking this seriously, and this is going to be her proper career from now on. But it'll be interesting to see in what sort of capacity. But if you've got tickets for SummerSlam and you're a big Ronda Rousey fan, I guess it's your lucky day. In other news, Japanese women's wrestling superstar Io Shirai, not just one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, but I guess one of the best wrestlers in the world. She's considered very, very highly by many critics around the world of wrestling. Io Shirai has been linked to Impact Wrestling. This news comes via an appearance by Gail Kim, who's currently working behind the scenes in Impact Wrestling, on Conan's podcast, where she said that Rebel, another woman heavily involved with Impact Wrestling, used to wrestle in Stardom, is familiar with Io Shirai's work. Io Shirai's like the top dog over in Stardom, even more so than Kairi Sane was back when she was known as Kairi Hojo in that promotion. Io Shirai is very much the number one talent there. She's held the title for more days than anyone else. She's the only two-time top champion in that company. And apparently Rebel had nothing but good things to say about Io Shirai and recommended her strongly to Gail Kim as a potential future member of the Impact roster. Now, it remains to be seen whether Shirai would give up all the stardom all the stardom, no pun intended, that she has accrued in Stardom over the past few years. I think she started in the company in 2011 and she's still very young. I think she's only 27 years old. It'll be interesting to see whether she'd walk away from that to, wrestle in North America. It looked as though she was going to when she was on WWE's radar in 2017 before medical issues forced them not to sign her and only sign Kairi Sane instead. Or perhaps it'll be far less clear-cut than that. As we know, in recent months, Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, the executive vice presidents of Impact Wrestling, have been making a big deal over this new direction Impact want to take, where they're more inclusive rather than exclusive. They're looking at wrestling more as a global business now, and they're willing to work with pretty much any promotion worth their time. And I think, if they were to bring in Io Shirai, it wouldn't necessarily be a full-time deal. They could just have her on sort of an excursion from Stardom, I guess, or as like a special guest appearance. And if their words are to be believed, I have no doubt that they would treat her as a major star rather than just like a foreign import who's coming in to have a few matches. I firmly believe that they would make a big deal of it if this new bold direction they're claiming is to be true. More on that news story as it develops. And finally, in WWE news, the main event of SmackDown's Fastlane pay-per-view in March has been changed. Originally, it was just going to be AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, but guess what? On SmackDown, there was some convoluted booking. Who would have thought it? Now, SmackDown has been the home of convoluted booking over the past few months, and it has changed the match from a three-way to a five-way. Earlier this week, it was announced that on SmackDown we'd have Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, with the winner being added to that Fastlane main event for the WWE Championship, making it a fatal four-way. Instead, though, in case you missed SmackDown, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn attacked Ziggler and Corbin at the top of the show, and as punishment for their actions, SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon said, right, instead of Ziggler versus Corbin, we're going to have Ziggler versus Zayn and Owens versus Corbin, and if Corbin and Ziggler win their matches, they'll be added to the match. Both men did win their matches. Ziggler defeated Zayn in the main event, Corbin defeated Owens earlier in the night, and now both men have been added to the match, making it a five-way. So we'll have the champion, AJ Styles, defending against not only Kevin Owens, not only Sami Zayn, but also Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Already there's been speculation on what might go down during that main event. Not many people are expecting Styles to drop the belt, given the fact that WWE have built up this big marquee match between Styles and Nakamura after Nakamura won the Men's Royal Rumble last month. But There's been a lot of speculation in places like Reddit where people say that Nakamura could well interfere in the match and help Styles retain because he's an honourable babyface. He wants that challenge against Styles and he wants it to be one-on-one. So again, I'm personally not expecting the title to change hands at Fastlane, and if it does, I'd expect a very quick switch back to Styles before WrestleMania, because I think pretty much everyone, both inside and outside of WWE, wants to see Styles versus Nakamura at WrestleMania 34 rather than like Nakamura versus Ziggler or Nakamura versus Corbin. I just can't see WWE putting all their chips, or all their eggs rather, into that basket. I think, the clear solution here is Styles versus Nakamura, and I don't think they'd want to mess with that too soon at WrestleMania. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this quick news update. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me here on Twitter at JackTheJobber, and you can follow all of us at Cultaholic. Don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And of course, never ever forget to join us.